What is up, Coach Emma here, and welcome back to the Fit Habit Life podcast, where we cut through the noise, talk real health and fitness, sustainable fat loss, and habits that actually work. And on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about carbs, why carbs are awesome, and you should be eating more of them. This is contextual. I don't know exactly what your diet looks like, so if you're not sure, just shoot me a message. We can chat about it. I believe I have my Instagram link below. But anyway, before we dig in, just wanted to thank you for listening to the show. If you're a regular listener, if you could share the show with a friend who you think might benefit from it, rate the show, subscribe. That just helps me get in front of more people, which helps me help more people, which is the goal of the show. So anyway, carbs are awesome. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is I've noticed a trend recently with clients that I'm onboarding, and I used to do this too. They've dieted a lot. A lot of the people that sign up with me, it's not like they've never tried to lose weight before. They've tried a lot of different things, and they're coming to me because they need help. They realize like what they've been doing hasn't been working, and they've tried a lot of things, and they're tired of going on this journey alone. And so they decided to invest in me, and I'd say I'm an expert. I've just been in this space for a while myself, 10-year plus fitness journey of my own, and been interested in it ever since. So, and I've helped quite a few people through it. So anyway, a lot of women are coming to me and they're just not eating enough carbs. Depending on the age range, sometimes too, they're not eating carbs and they're not eating fats, and they're eating a lot of protein. And in general, fats are really, really important. Really important. You need fats for a healthy hormone profile, to basically a lot of vitamins and minerals that we consume. You need fat for your body to use them. So, you need them to use the food that you're eating. You need fat for energy levels, for brain health, for hormonal profile. And technically, people talk about like protein and fats. They're like essential macronutrients, and you need them to just function day to day. Like if you're not getting enough protein or fats, your body's not going to work. It's not going to work as it should. And so there's been like a couple shows where people are like in the wilderness, and if they don't get fat, like everything goes wild. I've not watched those shows. I've heard a lot about them. It's probably I shouldn't talk about them, but anyway, so fat used to be demonized, and then carbs were demonized. So I have some clients coming to me where they're not eating enough fats, and they're not eating enough carbs. And then I have other clients that are just not eating enough carbs. They're eating a lot of fats because they went low carb or ketogenic or like whatever. And their weight loss plateaued. They're struggling to lose weight. They have very low energy, poor quality sleep. They're tired. They usually get like a mid-afternoon dip. And it's because they're not eating carbs. And oftentimes they have digestive issues too. And so a key thing that it's hard to get if you're doing a low-carb ketogenic diet is fiber. Carbs contain fiber. Fiber is super important for overall digestive health, for regular bowel movements, for fullness. Like fiber is very, very filling. It's not technically a macronutrient, but I count it as one because, it's essential to be optimal, to have a healthy digestion, to have good brain health, to have healthy hunger and fullness signals. And a high fiber diet helps your body naturally produce more GLP-1. So instead of going on the shot before you try it, fiber. Anyway, so carbs have fiber. Carbs are also your body's preferred fuel source. Your body thrives on carbs for performance, for energy, for brain health, for, movement throughout the day. And if you're not eating enough carbs, but you're eating a very high protein diet, your body's going to convert some of that protein into carbs, which is very taxing on the system. It's called, I'm not a very sciencey person, but just so you know, the conversion of protein to carbs is called gluconeogenesis. So it's basically converting those amino acids into a carb source because your body wants to use the carbs. So carbs are really important. And oftentimes, a lot of the women that come to me, they're either entering into perimenopause, are already in perimenopause, are in menopause, or postmenopausal. And their body's under a lot of stress. So we don't want to make their body or to add more stress to their body. We want to reduce the stressors. We want to reduce that cortisol level. And so having an adequate amount of carbohydrates, a moderate protein diet, so they can build muscle, stay full, recover adequately from their strength training, which is key, and a good amount of fat. Depends on the client, but usually I'm bare minimum of 50 grams of fat a day, ideally closer to like 60 to 70 grams, is like a really good spot for women from what I've noticed. And you can go above that. But if you're trying to lose body fat and you have a really high fat diet, then that's the easiest lever to pull to help you lose some body fat. So that's why usually I'm like, okay, protein depends on the woman, but usually, 0.8 to 1 gram of their ideal body weight. And usually I do on the lower end, and we kind of build up to the higher end unless they start to experience digestive issues. Protein's very taxing for your body to break down. So that's part of the issue too. If you have a really high protein diet, you're probably going to be a little bit more inflamed. You might have some bloating, gas, uncomfortable feeling, just more water retention. Like it's a taxing process for the body. So usually lower end people feel a little bit better. So that's why moderate protein intake. You don't need 1 gram or 2 grams per pound of ideal body weight. Like, no, that's crazy. Say like 0.7 to 1 gram per pound, or per pound of ideal body weight if you're pretty overweight, right? And then at least 65 grams of fat. That's where I put it. If you're a little bit lower, it's okay. If you're a little bit higher, it's okay. And then the rest we fill in with carbs. Because what I've noticed through personal experience, I was eating a very low carb diet. Of too high protein, I was eating probably 50 plus grams of protein more than I need on a regular basis. And part of my gut issues were that I was bloated a lot because I was just eating so much protein. So reducing that and increasing the carb intake, not only has my performance in the gym skyrocketed, I've gotten stronger, I have more stable energy levels, I feel better throughout the day, my sleep quality has improved, and I'm leaning out and building muscle a lot better because I have more fuel to help my muscles when I'm training. So carbs are really important. And not only do they help performance, they help sleep quality. And actually a lot of my women who are, in that older age range where they're going through menopause, increasing their carb intake has improved the quality of their sleep because carbs help reduce your overall cortisol levels. And there's another mechanism of action that I can't recall right now. But they help your body get to a more regulated, less stressed state. And that tends to help with the sleep. There's something else. I should have looked this up before starting the recording. But there's another reason that I can't remember right now. But eating more carbs will help your sleep. It'll help your performance, which most people want to look toned and they want to lean out and build muscle. And most clients do, right? It's like if you're eating a balanced diet, this is what I would call a balanced diet, a pretty high carb, moderate fat, moderate protein diet, it's going to be a lot easier to go out to eat. If you're eating ketogenic, low carb, no carb, that's hard. You can't usually go to a friend's house for dinner. I mean, my friends aren't as into fitness as I am, so most of them don't really care about what they eat. They just want to eat something that tastes good. And so it's like, well, I can't really eat what they provide if I can't eat carbs. Right? That sucks. You can't hang out with people. And then I talked trash about fasting a couple episodes ago, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I haven't. But if I haven't, I am doing it now. Same thing. If you're fasting, you can't go out and have breakfast with a friend. You can't get coffee. Or maybe you have to get black coffee because otherwise it breaks your fasting window and you can't have celotophagy or whatever. It's like, it's not realistic. Like, if you want to have a sustainable approach, then usually cutting out an entire macronutrient like carbs, eating within a certain eating window, it's going to make it really hard. And I'm not saying, obviously, like normal, if we're talking about normal, right? Normal in today's society is overweight, overstressed, tired, low energy, low libido, pretty weak, unhappy. I'd say that's like normal. So obviously we don't want to be normal. We want to be different because us being different is going to help us get to a place where we're optimal and where we're feeling great. So we don't want to be normal. But an important part of health is having relationships and being a part of a community. And sometimes to do that, yeah, you don't necessarily have to compromise on the things that you do. Like usually at my church, we have, what are they called? Potlucks. And the food is not something that I usually eat. I'll just say that. So I'll usually bring something that is like a quote unquote safe-ish food where I know I'll get something that will sit good with my digestion because I don't like to be gassy in public. So if there's food that doesn't make me feel good, I'm not going to eat it because that's going to be uncomfortable. Only around my husband. I'm just kind of kidding. So anyway, so right, it's like you have the choice to choose. But if you're so restrictive to where you can't do anything, then it's like that the quality of your life is going to decrease and it's going to make it hard to sustain the results that you do get. And that's the point, right? Like I talk about, what is the intro? Welcome to the Fit Happy Life podcast, where we cut through the noise, talk real health and fitness, sustainable fat loss, and habits that actually work. So if you eat a more higher carb diet most of the time, you're probably going to be able to go out to eat and be just fine. And if you do notice that when you increase your carb intake, you have digestive issues, you feel uncomfortable, you have big spikes and dips in energy, then there's something else going on at the root. And so when I first increased my carbs, I was having I was having hypoglycemic episodes. My digestion was really bad. And it was because I had a gut issue that I needed to address. When I address that, I can easily eat 400 grams of carbs a day without any problems. So, point being, if you're healthy, increasing your carb intake, keeping a moderate fat, moderate protein intake is going to help you improve your body composition goals. So building muscle, losing body fat. It's going to help your energy levels. It's going to help your quality of life. And it's going to help your sleep. If you're healthy. And if you're not healthy and you're trying to figure out why you have all these digestive problems, why you're not feeling good when you are increasing your carb intake, that's when you might need some extra help or some extra assistance, because there's a lot of things that it could be. And so usually with clients, if I look at their lifestyle, I'm like, lifestyle's good, but they're still having these problems. Like lifestyle and diet, pretty solid. They're training consistently. Their sleep's good. They're good enough as it can be with this, whatever issue is. They're staying hydrated. They're managing their stress, but they're still having problems. That's when the advanced testing comes into play. And that's when getting help, getting guidance from an expert and a professional in the functional nutrition space is going to be really helpful. And so if that's you and you're like, I actually need help because I've tried to do this and it's not working, then you can book a call in that link below. We'll just chat, see if it's a good fit, and talk about next steps if it is a good fit. And you can just book a call below. But otherwise, hopefully this episode was helpful. Hopefully I sold you on eating more carbs. It's definitely improved my quality of life. And performance training, I've gotten quite a bit stronger. Fixing my gut is what allowed me to get to the place where I can eat enough carbs. So that was an important part of the process. But hopefully this gets you to evaluate your diet, try to eat more carbs and get to a better spot health-wise. But anyway, if it was helpful, if you could share the show, rate the show, subscribe, that just helps me get in front of more people, which helps me help more people, which is the goal of this show. So thank you for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.